Hello, I'm Kate Ormel, and I'm here to explain an important change to the algorithms in the 8.1 release of SWIM Suite. Starting with this release, the software equation, which is the driving force behind the estimation, tracking, and benchmarking functions in SWIM Suite, will perform all calculations in effort hours. Let's begin with an overview of what we'll cover during this presentation. We'll start by looking at the way calculations were performed prior to version 8.1. Then we'll cover what prompted the move to person hours and review updates to the SWIM estimate, control, data manager, and master plan user interfaces. Finally, I'll provide some general guidance as to when and where you can expect to see changes to various software metrics. SWIM Suite uses the software equation to calculate expected, final, and forecasted values for core management metrics. The software equation relates 4 of the SEI core metrics: size, time, effort, and productivity. The 5th metric, defect, is calculated using a related set of equations and parameters. In the late 1970s, when Larry Putnam Sr. developed the software equation, software development was a relatively new industry. Since that time, there have been many advances, and we have periodically reviewed and adjusted the basic algorithms underlying our tools to ensure they keep pace with the latest industry data, technology, methods, and process improvement initiatives. When Larry did his original work, software measurement was in its infancy. His original software equation used effort in person years. But we found that effort is easier for our clients to work with and interpret when presented in their preferred effort units, whether they might be years, months, weeks, days, or hours. The person hours per person month field was added to SWIM tools to convert the raw effort output from the software equation, which was in years, to the client's preferred effort unit. For decades, the vast majority of projects in our database reported effort in years and months. Few projects altered the person hours per person month field from its default value of 173 hours per month. This is the equivalent of a 40-hour work week. When differences did occur, they were minor. Because productivity is affected by a variety of factors, team size, schedule compression, technical complexity, skills and experience, and the amount of reuse and regression testing, the software equation did not explicitly account for minor variations between the average number of hours worked by different organizations each month. As far as SWIM was concerned, an FTE was an FTE, and the hours per month, like every other productivity driver, was reflected in the PIs of each organization's completed project. These historical PIs could be used to tune future estimates to the team's past productivity. Before the move to person hours, the raw effort output of the software equation was expressed in years. If the estimated effort was 10 person years, clients who displayed effort in hours would see effort values converted according to their person hours per person month setting. In earlier versions of SWIM estimate, for instance, changing the person hours per person month setting had no effect on the actual or raw estimated effort or duration, but it did affect the displayed effort in workbooks that were configured to show effort in hours, days, or weeks. Why are we changing our algorithms to use hours? Well, there are several reasons. First one is that effort reporting is more precise than it once was. Nowadays, the majority of projects in the QSM database record effort in hours. More projects are developed by distributed teams, located in differing countries with very different work months. Because there's no such thing as a partial project PI, it's difficult for multi-sided projects to model different combinations of work environments. For all of these reasons, we have made the decision to move to the lowest common denominator for effort, hours, in the Putnam model. We still believe that minor differences in work length should be reflected in the completed project PI. But with this move for hours, major differences, extremely short work weeks, for example, can now be explicitly accounted for by adjusting the person hours per month setting. So what's the bottom line? Whenever the person hours per person month setting is not equal to the default of 173, you can expect to see minor differences in these areas. The PI, MBI, effort, cost, and average or peak staff values in upgraded workbooks may differ slightly from those in previous versions. Estimates generated with the same input will produce slightly different results between version 8.0 and 8.1. The important thing here to realize is that most of the time, these differences will be very slight. In Estimate, Control, and Data Manager, most of the changes to the user interface are confined to the accounting tab. The first major difference is that the labor rate must be in hours. If you're working with older files, don't worry, we'll convert these for you. Because labor rates are now in hours, there's no more labor rate unit. In Data Manager, the labor rate field on the Global Options dialog is now labeled labor rate per hour. And again, since labor rates are now hourly only, the labor rate unit field has been removed from this dialog. In SlimEstimate, the labor rates on the skill category tab of the work breakdown structure are now in hours as well. In Master Plan, you'll find changes to the effort and cost tab when you set up a custom task. As with the other tools, labor rates are now in hours, and the labor rate unit field has been removed. In all SlimSuite tools, you can still display effort in the unit of your choice: days, weeks, hours, months, or years. But behind the scenes, the software equation will be using hours for all calculations. Cataloging all the fields in each SlimSuite tool that could possibly be affected by this change is beyond the scope of this short presentation. But fortunately, we do have a few general rules of thumb to help you understand where slight differences in the calculated PI, MBI, effort, peak or average staff, or cost may be expected. In general, values that are entered by the user are going to be unaffected by this change. An example may help here. In SlimEstimate, PI, or the Productivity Index, is usually an entered value. But in Data Manager, we calculate the PI from the completed project size, effort, and time. The second rule of thumb is that values calculated by SlimSuite may be affected under the following scenarios. Whenever the effort unit is not hours, days, or weeks, and the person hours per person month setting differs from the default of 173, you can expect to see slight changes to these values. Do you have any questions, comments, or concerns? If so, please feel free to email us at support@qsm.com, and we'll be more than happy to address your questions. Thank you.